start. And we'll give this a second until I see the screens go live. I think that means that worked. Let's see here. Okay, I see screen 1 is good. Waiting for screen 2 start. Okay. Okay, both show excellent connections. I got 2 emails. I silenced my phone this time. Ha 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 ha! Ha! Who's an idiot now? Well, I mean, still, but select live source. Okay, yep, there it is. Activate. There she is. And we'll put that right there, and we'll switch to live chat. I still can't see the bottom of the window, but honestly, I wonder what the new version does. Let me look and see if there's a bug fix for this. What fixed? It's using an updated version. Some security updates. Side menus back on the page. Fix the pin up. Oh, okay. That's it. That's all that it fixed. Issues. Wait a minute. Okay, whatever. Okay. Sorry. I just crunched an atomic fireball. That may have been audible on the stream. If it was, I apologize. All right, so my sources are active. Let's go to links. Let's activate the link. Did I... Wait, before I do that, hold on. I don't know why this doesn't... You know, let me try this. Let me... Service disabled. Okay, maybe 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Go to the next thing. Okay. Service active. Okay. Hit the button. Did it work? How do I know if it worked? Usually there's a... Ah, there it is. I was going to say, usually there's a noise. I got the noise that time. Okay. So now, let's make sure it's actually showing. So we need social stream. I believe it's dashboard. There it is. Okay, so let's do a test 1. There it is. Let's do test 2. Verify I see it. I do. And let's do test, TEST 3. And we'll verify. There they are. Each of the 3 accounts. So I can now close this. I can now close this. Oh, my screen share is working. I just have to switch it to the correct window. I did, and now I just have to make sure it is showing up as it should be. And it is. Perfect. So let's go ahead. How many minutes in are we? 3 minutes. I'm never, ever gonna get past that. I should just give up on it. Okay, let me switch these so that I can see. No, I don't care about top fans. I care about participants. Where's the participants? There it is. Just so I can see if anybody pops in here. Okay, you can see my screen. Excellent. That's good. And okay, so everything is working. Okay. Yeah, we're good. Excellent. All right. Yeah, no, we're okay. We're good. All right, so here we have... what is this character's name again? Something weird. Lyrium Weird. Hold on. Is it Lenny Weird? Or Lemmy? Or is it Minnie Weird? Hold on. Wassailing. That's the way to know. Hold on. Let's see. Wassail horse. If I put horse. Mary Lloyd. Wow. Although apparently, wait, how are you supposed to pronounce it?
Foundry.
Whoa! Did you? I don't know if you heard that. Apparently, the way to pronounce it is Avari Lloyd. I was mispronouncing it very badly. Okay. Okay. Here, I don't know if you probably won't hear. I'll do it again. Ivari Lloyd. That's amazing because it's spelled M-A-R-I. Mavari Lloyd. That's amazing. Okay, well, you know, that's okay. So what I want to do is, hold on, fruit cross section. Citrus fruit cross section. There we go. Perfect. That's exactly what I was looking for. Something like that. Ooh, that's neat. All right, so let's get to it here. Let me, so you're seeing this. So this is Ivari Lloyd, of all things. I've been working on this one for a while now, so you probably are familiar with this. You know what? I'm going to do some more flowers. I realize now I really should do more. So let's go ahead and duplicate. Let's bring this down underneath, well, I guess there. Then move it up. And then I have to relocate this because I want to make an even darker layer of flowers down here. So let's I'm not even gonna get, I can just tell you right now, I'm not even gonna get to the citrus fruit tonight. I'm not even gonna make it. I can tell just by my own method of doing things, I'm never gonna make it there. It's never gonna happen. Let's get rid of this one. Okay. And let's go ahead and drop this down a bit. And we'll do this. This should be behind. Anyway, hope you all are having a good Monday. I don't think anybody's actually on the stream live, and that's fine. But if somebody... Okay, you know what? I'm not going to do this 8 times. So what's that? Measure twice, cut once? Yeah. Should have just done it with the smaller eraser to begin with, and then I wouldn't have had to do it so many times. But I'm a bit of a dope, as everybody's aware. So, of course, I have to figure things out the hard way. Let me get this up here just so I can see my screen. All right, I can see it. Make sure I don't suddenly freeze. There we are. And we'll get rid of that. Okay, now we need to get some more of the other flowers in here. So, yeah, let's go ahead and duplicate that. Bring this down. Ooh, that's actually good. Let's put that back. Is that true center? That's true center. Do that. Bring you down. I'm going to put you up one. I want that behind there. And then I'm going to do another one, and that one will be in front. Oh, there it is. I was going to say, where is it? So that set we will put in the front. There we are, like that. Okay. I do need to trim that just a tad. Just a bit. There we are. Then we'll do some of the yellow flowers. Let's do some of those. We'll bring those down. Wow, there's a lot of them. All right, let's do, Oh, no, don't do that. I wasn't trying to shrink that. What I was trying to do, there we go, is, well, we'll do it this way. Let's move you down. There we go. Let's erase. Oh, now we want the big one. Erase. Big eraser. All of that, all of that, all of that, all of that. Let's get rid of... Let's keep that. Let's get rid of this. There we are. Bring that down. Okay. Sorry, my eyes itching me. All right, let's do a duplicate. We'll do a flip horizontal. I want these pretty close, though. Well, maybe not that close. Make sure I got them lined up. They are. Let's merge that down. Let's move that to there. Move this up. Come on. Where's dead center? Or where's true center? I guess I should. Oh, I guess that is true center. Looks like it. Okay. Let's get rid of this. I don't need you. Actually, wait a minute. Before I do that. Yeah, that's okay. We'll do this one. Get rid of that. Just like that. And then I do want to do a duplicate of this again. Because I'm going to use another one of these down here. But I'm going to do it a little differently. That's good. Do this again. Do a flip. And try to get this right. This will not be the easiest thing. That looks good. Okay. So now we delete what's ever on here. And there's nothing there. Come over here. We get rid of that very carefully. Whoop. Okay. And then we come to this one. Yep. This has got to go here. And all of this, I don't know where that other one is. I'll find it in a minute. It's probably from the one above it. Get rid of that. Yeah, it's that. Okay. Yeah, actually, I don't need that at all. Get all that. Can go, actually, here. Let me do this so I can actually see what I'm erasing better. Is that this? Yes. You can go. Don't need you. You're what? This? Yeah, I thought so. Go away. This must be from here. That goes. This goes, because all this is behind the robe. So that all goes. Okay, now. Let's go ahead and merge that down. Let's merge that down. That's my yellow flowers. Bring the reds back. Come on back. Come on, buddy. Alright, so then that's the black area, which I think is this. Yeah. That's okay. We can keep using that. And what I'm going to do... Let's be careful about this a little bit, I think. Yeah, we're okay here. Yeah, see, I'll fix that. I just want to color all this black in. Because this is all going to get covered. So I'm just going to do all this. Then let's erase that black area really quick. That went too far. Yep. Let's bring that up. Let's bring this up. Because I want to have more of these flowers. I don't want as much of just this black dead area in the robe. I want you to be able... But I'm going to fade these bottom flowers out more so that they really recede in. Okay. Which I'll show you in a minute. So basically, where are the blue flowers? I need some more blue flowers. Hello, blue flowers. There we go. Okay. The blue flowers are going to go underneath the reds, like so. I'm going to use one more of those. So let's do one more of these. Like that. But this one, I'm going to place that one right there. This one will go actually over the reds, but there will be no bottom one. So we get rid of that one. And we want the one there. And then I really could have used... Oh, I do have a fourth. I was going to say a fourth flower type. I just put more of the red ones behind it. That's okay. So I'll just duplicate this. Let's see where this is. Yeah, something like... Well, this one can go right here. Hold on. Actually, these can go here. I'm going to get rid of everything else. In fact, I'm going to turn everything else off. I'm not going to be able to see what I'm doing. Turn everything else off. Okay. Get rid of all this. All this. I don't need any of these upper ones at all. Is that all of it? That looks like all of it. Yes. No, no. No, 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 no. Foop. Let's go maxed out on the top because I don't want to leave any traces of anything. Now I went too far. Okay. Back that down. Let's turn all the other flowers back on so I can see the full spectrum of what I'm doing. That's good. That's good. That's good. So, do I have enough of the black area, though? I do. Okay, I do. So we can actually, now that I look at it, this is this? Yes. Okay, so let's take this. Let's move you up just a bit, like that. Then we're going to duplicate you. We're going to move you down, but down here... Can I make it smaller? Yes, I can. So we'll make it smaller. Actually, we'll do it like this. We'll do it smaller, and we'll do it behind everything. So this will come behind those and behind these. There we are. And so now all I really need is a pair of purples. So we'll take this. Right? We're going to do that twice. One of them, we're going to get rid of the one on the... Oh, please. We'll get rid of the one on this side. I have to be very careful. Perfect. And then on this one, we'll get rid of the one on this side. So we'll get rid of that one. And these will also go be... Oh, whoa, too much, too much. Just go slow. There we go. Got it. So now, okay. So let's take this one first. This one, we're going to turn it just a bit, kind of center point it. We're going to shrink it, and we're going to put it up here. Probably just about like, I do want it to fill. And we're going to want a little bit of it coming over. So this one will go over what? That? Or that? There we are. Perfect. And then the other one will go behind. Here we are. Bring you up. And you are going to get a lot smaller. And you will stay behind. There we go. Now. All right, now this is the tricky bit. Remembering where I did all this. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so push this down. Push this down. Push this down. 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 And drop the opacity to make it fade even further. So we'll go to 50 on that one. Yeah. No, maybe 50, maybe 50 is too much. Let's go to like 75 maybe. There we go. See that increases the what's the word for it? The dark area on it. Let me get a drink of water here. Hold on a second. Okay. Now my other idea, and I'm not quite sure on this one, on this. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I have an idea. I have yet another idea. All right, let's do a duplicate of that. Let's move this whole thing down to right about there. Now, here's the tricky bit of this. This has to move all the way down. Put this over this. Off, 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 off. Wait, no, leave that one on. Everything else goes off because I have to get rid of the stuff that's at the top. So all this has to go away. So we go here. And let's max that. All this has to go. All of it, all of it, all of it. All of it has to go. There we are. And then, yeah. Well, I guess it really doesn't matter if you can't see it, right? If you can't see it, it's not as big a deal. So let's just do this. Oof. I am riding it right on the edge there doing this. So in fact, I don't want to do that because I'm going to screw it up. So we'll just use the big erase to get rid of that part, and then I'll come in with the smaller one. Because I have a feeling I'm going to end up going too far and not realizing it, and then I'll see it later, way too late to fix it, and I'll be really annoyed with myself. So we're not going to take that chance, are we? No, we're not. The answer is no, we're not. And now the transparency is coming back to bite me because now you can see through those other flowers. So what we're going to have to do is, hold on, where is this one? Where's that one? Is that supposed to be like that? Is this supposed to be there? I don't think that's supposed to be there. Hold on. Just let me check this. Yeah, that's not supposed to be there. Okay. This has to go away too. Yeah, jeez. Okay, let's put all this stuff back on, make sure we didn't lose anything. I don't think we did. Nope, we're good. Okay, so now down here, see that? That's a problem. So, how do we handle this? Well, that eliminates the transparency problem, sort of. Now we have to extend the blacks down. No, extend, not erase, extend black areas down so that we're all in the same shading. There we are. Yep, just get that there. Bring that up. miss anything? And this. Okay. Get this colored in. Okay. All right, let's see. Okay, how am I going to do this? I mean, I can drop this really far, but that's not going to change the other problem, which is that if I drop the opacity on this, you can see through it to the ones underneath. See what I mean? You can see through that. So that doesn't solve that problem all that much. So I think the only way I can realistically do this is to... Where's this? Oh, wow, that's way up there? Why isn't that part of this? It should be. Yeah, that should be part of this. Or, you know, at least one down. There we go. That should all be one thing. Yeah. So this and this should be merged down. That should be merged down. That's this part. That should be merged down. Yeah. Wait, why is... It doesn't really matter. Okay, so now what I need to do is a second black layer that is going to be responsible for some portion of this. I'm going to say, well, where's this going? That's that whole thing, huh? All right, well, let's do it like here. Wow, look at that. Yeah, I guess we would have to back that down by another 25, maybe? Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so then we do this. Now this is going to be tricky. Let's see here. Hold on. Of course. It's always going to be these little spots. Little spots. Yet another that you can file under the heading of something that nobody but me would notice. But I noticed it, so I can't not address it. It's got to be correct. Yeah, I'm not going to get to that citrus fruit tonight. Just telling you right now. Oop, there we go. That it ain't going to happen. Because I'm already at what? What am I at? 22 minutes and I'm still working on the fruit stuff. And I still have quite a ways to go on it, I can tell you. Because I have to fill in all these little areas, and I have to color in all the... And then I have to do another layer of black to properly get the separation I'm looking for. Because, you know, that's how it has to be done. Because of my way my brain works. This is what must happen. Boy, yeah. Saw an interesting story, which I'm pretty sure I will be talking about on my podcast. YouTube, a service I have no end of complaints about, apparently has been doing some unauthorized, depending on how you want to phrase that, has been, well, I should say unconsensual. Unconsensual. Unconsensual? Is that the correct way to say that word? I think it is. Non-consensual. That's it. I got it. I figured it out. I knew it wasn't unconsensual. Like, that just didn't sound right to my ear. Non-consensual. Oh, jeez, come on. Really? You guys can't give me a break on this a little bit? Some non-consensual alteration, apparently only so far that I've seen. YouTube Shorts, where they're using AI image enhancement to upscale, artificially upscale, I should say. Apparently right now it's just YouTube Shorts, although I don't know that I believe that that's where it's limited to. It just might be where people are seeing it. But it would make sense if that's where they started on it, because they thought people wouldn't notice it as much if you're looking at it on a phone screen or something. But in any event, wherever they're doing it, they have come out and confirmed that they were doing it. They said it was an experiment, which I both believe and don't believe. I'm sure it is an experiment, but the way they're saying it, there are numerous, well, I shouldn't say numerous. There were numerous complaints about it. I did see one really good video that did an illustration. I can't remember the channel's name. I apologize. If you go over to The Verge, you'll see the video is linked there by a musician of some kind who does videos and was not happy about it because, as he said, because they just, without any type of approval or prior notification, because they just started applying this, some people's channels, other viewers of those channels started to think they were using AI to generate the episodes in their entirety. And these people are understandably not happy about that because for some of them it's a ethical thing for them. They're people who don't necessarily like AI, and so if they suddenly seem to have a channel that is using it, that could certainly be seen as horrifically hypocritical. But also for others, it's making their videos look worse. For something that's supposed to upscale, it's not doing a great job of it, which nobody should be surprised about. These tools don't do a good job of doing stuff on their own. They just do not. So I'm not shocked that they're making some videos look remarkably worse in some cases. I mean, there are some examples that individual was pointing out. I mean, the videos just look awful. They're very, the description being used is like oil paintings. As somebody who does paint with oil, I would say that's accurate. It does look like oil painting. Oil painting looks great if you're doing an oil painting. It doesn't look so good if you're putting it on a human being. Makes them look weird and alien. And, I mean, I'm not shocked by it. I can't pretend to be shocked. Why is that got a circle there? What is that? Did I miss something? I must have. Okay. Anyway. Oh, I probably hit the erase thing on that. That's probably exactly the reason I went over on that one, I can see. I'll fix that in a minute. I'm not shocked. It's not a surprise to me that they did that because I've complained about YouTube before. Unfortunately, with such a dominant position in the video creation market, I don't know what recourse most people have, especially if there are people who have established channels and are making money at it, which I think is one of the shames that YouTube is as dominant as it is. It's because it now puts those people in a bind where they may not be in a financial situation to turn their backs on YouTube. And so now they're screwed. I mean, they don't have an option. If your primary source of income is the platform, and look, I don't think that's smart exactly for this reason, and I'll reiterate something I've said before, but I haven't said it in a while. Don't ever trust a free platform to not get you somehow, because they don't owe you anything. Actually, in that video where the individual was explaining how he figured out what was going on, and he at one point goes to his wife, who is a photographer, and asks her to look at the video, and she says, it's AI generated, it's faked. And he's like, no, it's not. It looks that way, but it's not. It's not faked. There's some kind of filter being applied. And the fact that she assumed that means that if somebody thinks that you as a creator, let's say that you have, I'll just tell you right now, nothing on this channel is AI generated, nothing. And it never will be. But if you heard me say that, well, I just said it. So now, having said that, if suddenly tomorrow they start applying filters without my knowledge to these videos, you could easily be like, oh, he was a liar. And I wouldn't blame you for thinking that, because it would look that way. I mean, I never looked because this is the first I'd ever heard of it, but I don't do shorts. Therefore, I don't, I didn't pick anything of this up anywhere. But, yeah, you would probably think, oh, this guy was so Mr. I'm not using AI, and look, now he's using it. And I couldn't blame you for that. And it would not be true in that I wouldn't be doing it intentionally. But if YouTube does it, that's what it looks like. So, yeah, somebody had posted about it on Blue Sky, and I said, something like reason number 1,732 to hate YouTube. I don't like YouTube. I think this is one of the problems with it. Unfortunately. I wish it wasn't the case, but it is. Tomorrow's only supposed to be 90. That's like 6 degrees cooler than today. But yeah, I'll be really curious. I mean, they're not. YouTube is not acting like this is a big deal at all. They're like, yeah, this is just something we're trying. And to a degree, it's their platform. They can do what they want. We really don't have any most YouTube people, unless you are some big name, there's no recourse. So I feel bad for people who are upset by this. Again, people who probably rely on their channel, certainly far more than I do for any type of revenue. I don't. Oh, whoops. I didn't get rid of some flowers. I should have. Where are those from? Here? Yeah, okay. These need to go. Again, I don't, at least on purpose, make any money from this channel. So it's not a concern for me. But I do feel bad for people who are going to be impacted by this. And not to mention, it's a bad effect. It doesn't even look good. If it looked good, you might... Oh, no, I erased the wrong... Hold on, sorry. Oh, no, I didn't. I was right. I was in the right one. I have to get rid of it. Here and here. Sorry, I forgot what I was doing because I was forming my thoughts in my head. Just making sure I didn't miss anything else. I did not. Okay. So yeah, if there are people who, have an established channel and they have fans who look up, and look, as I said, it's easy for me to say, yeah, there's going to be no AI because I would never use that. Where are those flowers? Where are these flowers? Oh, interesting. Oh, that's only down there. That's only, oh, that's there. So that is, okay, I'm just going to leave that. That's fine. It's easy for me to be able to say that because I don't care. It's fine. But if somebody has built a whole channel and, has a lot of fans and those people have come to expect that there won't be AI generated content on this person's channel, and now suddenly like, yeah, sorry everybody, but there's stuff on this channel. Like, those people they're put in a bad place by YouTube specifically. So I feel bad for people who are stuck in that position. And I'm sure it's not just a few. It's going to be a bunch if they keep doing this stuff. And there's no reason to think they won't. If they did it as an experiment, they were doing it because they intend to roll it out. They think there's a value there. They want to be able to say, we sharpen, blah, 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 blah. I mean, that's clearly what they're going for. You know what I mean? This is not an accident. They didn't just stumble across this idea. This is obviously somebody's brainchild on how to, be able to market that they're, making videos look better than ever or something. So it's a shame, really. Let's see, how many layers does this have? 41, and if I want to expand it, I have to think about this. Because if I want to expand it to have some citrus fruits around it, that's going to be interesting because I'm going to have to, let me think here. That's the sketch. Yeah. The legs are pretty much where they need to be. Actually, at this point, this can merge down and this can merge down. It's not going to hurt anything. Those are where they need to be. Okay. Yep, we're good. Oh, not quite. Hold on, I missed a little tiny bit right here. Is it this one? Yeah. Let me just get that filled in. There we go. Okay, good. We're good. Yeah, so that's really crappy. It's a real shame that they did that. Because I think they are screwing over their creators a bit. It shouldn't be a surprise. I will say that. It should not be a surprise to anybody. Because, like I said, YouTube really doesn't care. And they don't. They're part of Google. Google's a company. Companies don't care about you. So this should not be a surprise to anyone. Turn drawing guide off. But it's still a shame because I think there are people who are that built a audience off of possibly saying, hey, you know, I'm not doing AI on this channel, and I'm not, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna just do a new. Let me just do a new image for that. Let's do a new image. Let's make it like a 12 by 12. There we are. Let's go ahead and just grab a pen. That's good. Let's go ahead and, whoa, my pen went away. Make sure it's working. It's working. Okay, let's go ahead and make a nice big circle. There we go. Let's actually make that a circle, shall we? Did I make it a circle? I did. Okay. Wait a minute. That circle doesn't look right, does it? Is that? That circle looks weird. I mean, even weirder than I drew it. I don't know that I did that properly. Let's do this again. Okay. There we go. I don't think it was that straight before. But like I said, yeah, anybody who has built a brand on, I don't like saying built a brand, anybody who has a following that's even partially based on the idea of not using AI stuff, and if they start getting people saying, hey, you're using this, I'm seeing this stuff on your channel, when it really is not them, that sucks. So I hope that I mean, I don't think Google's going to care, and I don't think they're going to reconsider it. I think this is just, they think this is the way to do it. Will it get people to leave the platform? Possibly. Might. You know, I can't say it's not within the realm of possibility that somebody might decide that this is it. It's not like there aren't a lot of people who are frustrated with YouTube in general anyway. So could this be a thing that drives some people to say, you know what, I don't need to be here anymore? Sure. I mean, the problem is there's not a ton of, well, look, there's nobody who's as big as YouTube in terms of video creation. There just isn't. You know, whatever other services they are, they still aren't ever anywhere near as effective as YouTube is, unfortunately. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to, let's get a 2D grid, because I just want to kind of establish something here. And as long as that's the case, which at least is right now, it makes it very tough to get away from it. So people are they really are stuck. And I don't think they're happy about it, but it's like, okay, where are you going to go? Where are you going to go? Are you going to go to Kick? I know Kick exists. I've never watched a single thing on it in my life. I don't actually know anybody who has watched something on it. Maybe it's something for very young kids or whatever, but, you know, again, where else is there to go? YouTube has it. It got it cornered. Which I don't think is good. It's very, very clearly bad. But it is what it is. Let me get one more layer in here. So, I don't know. It's bad. It's just bad. I think the idea that they did this, and look, they had to know that eventually somebody would figure it out, because let's take this on face value and say it was an experiment in the interest of making better looking video. Well, it's not better looking. That's how people noticed it. They noticed that it looked worse and that it looked weird. So obviously it didn't do what it was supposed to there. Right? So that's a failure right off the bat. This isn't going to work that way. Okay, I have to turn the assist off. Assist isn't going to do me any good. I just got to do it all by hand. That's okay. That's not a problem. Just have to do it like this so it looks, because otherwise you're going to see repeats, and I don't want this to repeat. So we'll just do this. I'm just looking at a picture of a grape. I guess that's a grapefruit. I don't know. It just says citrus cross section. So I'm just kind of making an organic citrus thing here. Well, until I did that. All right, let's do that right there. Okay. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know where you know, I kind of. I wonder if YouTube is going to even address it any further than they already have, which was basically not really to address it at all. There was some, you know, weak, typical corporate nonsense put out by their, I don't know, whatever what his title is, community liaison thing, which is laughable. I mean, that really just means anybody who's important gets to talk to this person. Everybody else, they don't care. I mean, we know that, right? Come on. We're all adults here. Yeah, all these citrus fruits actually have the exact same kind of cross-section, so that's going to make this really easy. Okay. But yeah, no, they don't care. This person just, I'm sure this press release or whatever the statement was ready to go. On the off chance it got noticed, it did. So they were ready for this exact eventuality. As of course they would have to be. Any major company has to have a plan in case these things happen. So they were ready for it. They probably anticipated that somebody would notice, and they just hoped. Or they wanted to see what the reaction would be in the shorts area instead of doing it on everything to see if people would even react. Because there are probably some people who didn't even notice. We're becoming, what is it, normalized to garbagey AI video now, so it's very possible there's lots of people who wouldn't even be able to tell. I felt something. Yeah, there is something on the screen right there. Hold on. Let me get that fixed real quick. Sorry, give me a minute. There we go. Just wipe that off. So yeah, I'm sure there's people who don't even notice it. They're like, what are you complaining about? It looks fine to me. Okay. Nothing I can do about that. You know what I mean? It's like, what do you say to that? Somebody says, oh, it looks okay to me. All right. And it might. That's what makes that response so tough, is for all you know, it does look all right to them. Can't call them liars. They may think it does look fine. And for some people, that's okay. They're not going to mind that the video looks like this. I mean, I could see it right away when this person was pointing it out, showing the videos and the comparisons. And the person's wife saw it right away. Now, that's not necessarily, to be fair about it, that is not necessarily the best way to judge, because this person's wife was a professional photographer, somebody whose job it is to spot things in imagery and make sure that they can be corrected and, you know, make everything look as good as possible. So any imperfection to a person like that is going to stand out. You know what I mean? So that's may not necessarily be the... Oh, I just realized something. Actually, no, that's okay. I just realized something, but I also realized that what I thought was going to be a problem wasn't going to be a problem, but there's no way I'm going to get much of this done in this stream, because I'm already at 43 minutes. This is going to take a while. What I just thought of and what I want to do is going to take some time. So, yeah. But that's okay. But like I said, this person's wife is a professional photographer. Well, that's, you know, that's not an average viewer who doesn't necessarily care. Especially somebody who might be watching something on their phone. They're not going to necessarily even notice this stuff. I don't know. And again, if we're so used to now computer generated imagery and it's just everywhere, eventually nobody's going to notice it, right? I mean, as it is, lots of people point and say, correctly, I think, well, a lot of people can't even tell when it's AI video now, so what's the difference? Who cares? If they can't tell, then functionally it's fine, because if they can't tell, then they're not bothered by it, so who cares? And, you know, that's not a meritless argument. There is something to be said for that if only a small minority of people are noticing this, then it must not be that big a problem. Now, I don't 100% buy into that idea. I think that overlooks some important things. I also think it doesn't at all address the ownership and ethical problems of generative stuff. But for the sake of this particular subject, they're correct. If you can't see the smearing and that distortion, does it matter? I'm sure YouTube's argument would be, no, it doesn't. Because nobody cares. But a couple of, vocal YouTubers who are, I'm sure they would say, who are just against these tools to begin with. Right? And if that is in fact true, and if nobody's really noticing it, then they kind of have an argument, don't they? Again, I would take some issue with that characterization. I don't think just because people don't notice it, it means it's not a problem. And in fact, I think people do recognize that something is off, but they may blame themselves and think it's them, that they're just seeing something incorrectly because it's subtle. That's very possible. In fact, I think the guy who, the person who posted this video, I think he said that at first he thought it was just him, that it wasn't actually a problem, and then found other videos and people saying, why does stuff look weird on my channel? And that's when he went, uh-oh, this has got to be something. And it was. But I'm sure a lot of people just go, well, it must just be me. I'm sure there's nothing wrong with it. It's just my eyes. My eyes suck, so I mean, I wouldn't necessarily see it. But I think the thing that is bothersome to a lot of people is that YouTube didn't bother to even say to anybody, hey, are you okay if we test this with your videos? I'm sure there's many people who won't care. There are probably people who would say, yes, if you can make it look better, I'm all for it. Do it. Do whatever you got to do. You know what I mean? I'm sure those people exist. I'm positive of it. That there are people who would be delighted that this type of tool would be available for their channel. But the fact that they didn't bother to check with people and that they used it on people whose channels people who don't want this stuff on their channel. I wouldn't want it on mine. I wouldn't want it on this. Fortunately, I don't think it would really do anything for an art stream like this, because it seems to be the most notable on people's faces and how it's distorting them. That's not really a factor with this channel, so it would not probably be a big deal. But I wouldn't want to start adjusting colors because it thought it was fixing something, or take a line that isn't perfect and perfect it because it thought that I mean, don't get me wrong, I probably did mess it up, but I wouldn't want a tool correcting it. I want to correct it. Because sometimes those mistakes, I've talked about this before, sometimes the mistakes actually lead to better things. So you don't want something being fixed. You want that accident to be there so that you can see it later. So I don't know. I don't know where this is going to end up. It may be Tempest in a Teapot type of stuff. In fact, if I had to guess, I would say it probably will be. Because again, I don't think YouTube really cares. The fact that they didn't come out and apologize, they just called it an experiment and just moved on with it. Or not moved on with the experiment meaning, but that they didn't even want to engage with the concerns that people had, that tells you something right there. Not that I'm really surprised by that, because again, I don't think YouTube really cares. I don't think they care. Actually, let's take a break for a second. Let's take a quick look. Let's see. Has there been any update on this story? Anything? Let's see. Okay, here we go. Let's take a look. Okay. So this was the defense from the YouTube liaison. Oh, no, I don't want to say defense. This was the explanation. Okay. Quote, "Hi, I'm a tech nerd and I try to be precise about the terminology I use. Gen AI typically, there right away, that undermines any argument. Gen AI typically refers to technologies like transformers and large language models, which are relatively new." That's not really true, but okay, fine. Upscaling typically, sorry, that was my editorial. Let me read this in its entirety. Quote, "Hi, I'm a tech nerd and I try to be precise about the terminology I use. Gen AI typically refers to technologies like transformers and large language models, which are relatively new. Upscaling typically refers to taking one resolution, like SD/480p, SD being, this is my insertion here, standard definition, and making it look good at a higher resolution, like HD/1080p, again me, HD being high definition. This isn't using Gen AI or doing any upscaling. It's using the kind of machine learning you experience with computational photography on smartphones, for example, and it's not changing the resolution. And sincerely appreciate the feedback." End quote. That is wildly disingenuous as I read it. Oh boy, I don't want to turn this into this, but I kind of have to, because now I'm getting a little bit irritated at the fact that my intelligence is being insulted. And I'll tell you why. But I want to verify something. All right, here we go. Okay, let me take a look here. Okay, okay. I'm trying to just look. The definition has evolved. Techniques. Just tell me what I'm trying to see. Okay, processing. Okay. Aha! Yeah. This is what I was looking for. So here is a definition of computational photography. One element of it is something called computational imaging. I'm going to read this verbatim. Quote, "Computational imaging is a set of imaging techniques that combine data acquisition and data processing to create the image of an object through indirect means to yield, in bold letters, enhanced resolution, additional information such as optical phase or 3D reconstruction. The information is often recorded without using a conventional optical microscope configuration or with limited data sets." End quote. That right there disputes the quote by the liaison, who said it was not enhancing resolution. But this person referred to computational photography. Well, that's what I just read, and it says right here, enhanced resolution. So, yeah. That is a very deceptive statement. And in fact, I would go so far as to, this individual is leaning on the definitions they laid out when they say, and by the way, those definitions include the word typically, which means it's not a definition. It's you saying that normally this is what people mean. Ooh, this is getting me angry now. I'm going to stop doing this. These streams are not meant to be me being angry at somebody who's borderline lying. Okay, back to this. Sorry. I will deal with the rest of that separately. Actually, where am I? You know what? Because I apologize. That put me in a bad mood. I want to actually go through this whole thing. So the idea that I'm going to do, I'll show you what I'm looking at doing with this. But I'm not going to do it in this stream. Is the image I'm basing it off of. I'm going to do something like this where I'm going to draw. Well, not with that though. I'm going to make this smaller. So probably like 5 maybe. Yeah. So there's a really neat image that's like a backlit thing of a citrus fruit. And so I'm going to do something like this where I'm going to draw each of these parts. Just freehand probably inside of here to try to replicate the image that I'm seeing. Because it's really neat looking. But I'm going to basically do that through each of these slices. Where's that reference image? I'll look at it really quick. Yeah, it's really neat looking. It's gonna be tricky to try to capture that. But I have to be able to have these like veins in between everything to make it look correct. Yeah, so it's going to be something like this. Where there's going to be these little bits of things, and that way I'm going to kind of introduce the color in between. But it's going to take, as you can tell, it's going to take a while. It's going to take a while. Yeah, so I'm not going to do that in this stream, but that is my plan. So I'm going to bring this stream to a close. So let's go ahead and do that. There we are. I mean, I still got stuff done, which is good. That my point was to get stuff done. I did get stuff done, so that's great. But like I said, this statement from this person's got me in an annoyed state of mind, and I don't want to keep streaming with an annoyed state of mind. Plus, I'm already at 50-something minutes, and that's usually where I like to be, is around an hour. So, and since there was nobody who showed up tonight to chat, not complaining, just saying, you know, when there's people talking, I'm more reluctant to take off a little bit early, but, whoa. Is that somebody's car horn? There was a really weird noise. You probably didn't hear it in the background. That was really strange. Weird. I'm pretty sure it was somebody's like custom car horn. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. So since nobody is here for the live one, if you're seeing this, you would inevitably be seeing it later on one of the channels where I upload it. And that's fine. I don't really mind when anybody sees my stuff. I'm just happy that you show up at all. So as I always say at the end of my streams, or I try to remember to say at the end of all my streams, there's a lot of creators out there of all different types, musicians, artists, writers, people making videos, people, whatever it is, that if you find a creator whose work you enjoy and it makes you feel better and it makes you laugh or it makes you smile or it just makes you happy in general or contributes something to you, moves you in some way, and that person can be supported somehow, take a minute to support that person, because I'm just realizing that this Be Right Back thing seems to be not centered on the screen. Let me just make sure it's actually centered. Is this centered? Center to screen. Oop, whoops. I didn't mean to skip ahead. I think I fixed it. Yeah, I think I fixed it. Yeah, I think it was off center. Anyway, sorry. So whatever way you can, support that person, whoever those creators are. I'm not talking about me. I'm fine. Right now, I have no reason for anybody to have to worry about supporting me, because I'm doing okay. But there are people out there who are in tougher spots. They could use your support in whatever way you can do that. That can be monetarily, but it doesn't have to be. We default to thinking that that means donating money or giving money or something like that. I'm sure that's great for the people who need it if you can do it, but if you can't, that doesn't mean you can't reshare that person's work. It doesn't mean that you can't just appreciate it. You can drop them a note. You can highlight them to the people that follow you on whatever social media platform. Like, even just sending a person a simple email saying, hey, I really like your work. Just that simple act. Because you just never know where people are in their lives. And they may just need that little bit of something to tell them. They may be literally on the edge of giving up on whatever they're creating. Even though you, as the person who enjoys the work, would sit there and go, well, this is great work. Why would they ever think about quitting? That doesn't mean they're not thinking about it. There's lots of things that people go through that make them question whether they should keep doing something. So if you have the ability to reach out, that could literally keep that person creating the stuff you enjoy simply by the act of you reaching out and saying, hey, I really like your stuff. You never know. And it's so low effort. You don't have to make it a novel. It could literally be a sentence. Hi, I just wanted to reach out and tell you that I really like your work. I followed you for years and I like the stuff that you make. And that's it. That's it. And that might be enough. So that's what I mean about it's worth the effort, because you just never know. Anyway, now I'm just rambling. So thank you for coming by and hanging out. And as I say, go support a creator. Go find a creator that you enjoy and support them in whatever way you can. It is worth the effort. On that note, thanks again for coming here, live or later, doesn't matter to me. I just appreciate you stopping by. And until the next stream, thanks for watching. And until next time, take care.